Hey everyone, welcome back today.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Yeah, it's great to be back. We're going to be looking at Bitcoin
Okay.
and specifically kind of this like recent surge in price that we've seen.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you've probably seen the headlines like
Yeah.
Bitcoin is dead again, those kinds of things that we see every
Right.
once in a while.
Bitcoin's dead. I
Long
guess.
live Bitcoin, right?
But the thing is, Bitcoin is very much alive and like hitting these
Yeah.
new all-time highs that we haven't seen before. So it's like, what gives? What's going on?
Right.
So we're going to be unpacking that today,
Okay.
using some insights that we got from a Forbes article
Interesting.
by Sebastian Woodman
Okay.
called, so that's the beginning of Bitcoin then.
Okay. Great.
So, yeah, one of the things that like really jumped out at me from the article was this idea that Bitcoin has been declared dead
Okay.
over 477 times,
Wow.
which is like a crazy number to think about.
Yeah, a lot of obituaries. Yeah, a lot of obituaries, right?
Yeah.
And it even references this Forbes article
Okay.
from way back in 2011
Okay, yeah.
that was like prematurely announcing
Wow.
Bitcoin's demise.
Interesting.
Can you maybe like give us some context on that? Like what was going on back then?
Yeah, for sure.
Why were people so quick to like
Yeah.
write Bitcoin off?
Well, I think it's important to remember that like 2011 was a very different time
Right.
for Bitcoin. Like it was still a very niche technology.
Yeah.
And then you have like the Mt. Gox hack,
Right.
which, was the world's largest crypto exchange at the
Right.
time, and it got hacked.
Okay.
And that really shook people's confidence, I think,
Right.
in Bitcoin
Yeah.
because the price basically crashed. Like
Yeah.
it went from around $17 to practically nothing.
Oh, wow.
So I think it's understandable why
Wow.
some people thought that was the end.
Yeah. That makes
What more evidence do you need?
Right, exactly.
Right.
And that's like a
Yeah.
huge contrast to like where we are today
Yeah.
with, Bitcoin reaching these
Absolutely.
all-time highs.
Yeah. It's
Like
a
what
great
is
point.
driving this resurgence now?
Well, I
Good.
think it's
Yeah.
not like
Yeah.
a single answer, right?
Right,
It's
yeah.
more like a
It's like a bunch of factors.
yeah, a bunch of factors all coming together.
Okay.
From one big one is like increased regulatory clarity.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So as governments around the world are kind of
Yeah.
starting to grapple with like how to regulate cryptocurrencies,
Right.
it's actually making institutional investors
Oh, okay.
more comfortable because they see like a clearer path
Gotcha.
to investing in Bitcoin
Mhm.
without that fear of like sudden regulatory changes.
Okay, that makes sense. And
Yeah.
I mean, we can't forget about like the Bitcoin ETFs
Oh yeah, the ETFs.
that the article also mentioned.
For sure.
Like those seem to be playing a big role in kind of attracting new investors, right?
Absolutely. So like a Bitcoin ETF or exchange traded fund,
Right.
basically it allows you to invest in Bitcoin
Okay.
without actually having to own and store the Bitcoin yourself.
Gotcha.
So you can think of it kind of like buying shares of a company
Okay.
that holds a large amount of Bitcoin.
Okay.
So it makes it much easier
Yeah.
for everyday investors
Right.
to get exposure to Bitcoin, especially those who might be
Hmm.
a little intimidated by like the technical side of things.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's
Yeah.
like bridging that gap between like
Exactly.
the traditional financial world and
Yeah.
like the crypto.
Sure.
What else is kind of contributing to this Bitcoin boom
Okay.
besides like the ETFs
Oh,
and
yeah.
regulations?
Well, the article also points to the potential impact
Okay.
of the incoming U.S. president.
Oh, interesting.
The new administration
Yeah.
appears to be more crypto-friendly than the previous one.
Okay.
So that's signaling potentially favorable regulations down the line.
Gotcha. So it's like
You know,
kind of setting the stage.
yeah, setting the stage.
A
Exactly.
little more.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then on a broader level,
Yeah.
the current geopolitical and macroeconomic landscape
Okay.
is definitely playing a role.
How so?
Well, just think about it.
Yeah.
We're living in a time of like global uncertainty.
Right.
You've got everything from like trade wars to rising inflation.
Yeah.
And in times like these, people often look for
Yeah.
alternative assets
Yeah.
to safeguard their wealth.
Right.
And Bitcoin, with its decentralized nature and limited supply, is increasingly seen as like a digital safe haven.
So it's almost like a digital version of gold.
Yeah, it's
Like something that people are like flocking to when
yeah,
traditional systems seem a little shaky.
exactly. When things are uncertain.
Okay.
People want something
that's a
stable.
Good analogy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this all kind of points to a larger trend, I think, which is the maturation of the digital asset industry as a whole.
Right.
Like we've come a long way
Yeah.
since those early days of Bitcoin.
Right.
Now we have like sophisticated custody solutions for securely storing cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
We have well-established exchanges
Right.
like Coinbase and OKX for trading them.
Yeah.
And we even have like payment processors like MoonPay and Stripe integrating crypto payments.
It's amazing to see how much the infrastructure around Bitcoin and like other cryptocurrencies has
It's remarkable.
developed.
Yeah.
It really does speak to how far things have come.
For sure.
Since that 2011 article declared Bitcoin dead.
Right.
Speaking of that article,
Yeah.
Sebastian Widman, the author,
Right.
he makes a bold prediction
Okay.
about Bitcoin's future.
Let's hear it.
He suggests
Yeah.
that Bitcoin could become
Yeah.
a major reserve currency.
Wow.
What does that even mean? Is he saying that like Bitcoin could be like
Yeah.
the US dollar?
That's exactly what he's implying.
Oh, wow.
So Widman argues that Bitcoin, with its decentralized nature and fixed supply, has the potential to actually challenge the dominance of the U.S. dollar in the global financial system.
Okay.
So it's a radical idea.
That's a pretty radical idea.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder what that person who wrote the 2011 Bitcoin obituary
I wonder what they're thinking now.
would think now, especially with it trading near six figures.
I know, right?
It's crazy to think about.
It really is.
Regardless of what that writer's opinion is,
Yeah.
I think the core message from Widman's article like really resonates. Like we really are witnessing the beginning of this blockchain revolution.
For sure.
And it has the potential to impact
Absolutely.
like finance and so many other.
Yeah, and beyond. Beyond finance.
Yeah.
It's going to touch everything.
But of course, like it's not all smooth sailing, right?
Yeah, of course not.
Oh, what about
There's going to be bumps in the road.
the challenges? Like, for example, I've read some concerns about the energy consumption of Bitcoin mining. Is that still a major issue?
It's a valid concern for sure.
Yeah.
Because Bitcoin mining does require a lot of computational power, which translates to significant energy usage.
Yeah.
However, there are ongoing efforts
Okay.
to develop more energy efficient mining methods.
Yeah.
And some people argue that Bitcoin can actually incentivize investment in renewable energy sources.
Interesting.
So it's kind of a complex issue.
Yeah.
You know?
It's not just black and white.
Yeah, it's not simple.
What's interesting is that this debate around Bitcoin's energy consumption
Right.
really highlights like a larger point about the need for sustainable innovation.
Absolutely. Like,
yeah. As we embrace these new technologies, we also need to consider like their environmental impact.
for sure, we can't just ignore that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's really like a call for responsible
development.
not just in like the crypto world, but
across all emerging technologies.
emerging technologies. Yeah.
Exactly.
Let's like bring it back to the individual listener for a second.
Yeah.
Like, what does this all mean for someone who's like trying to make sense of this like rapidly changing?
Yeah, good question. That's a great question.
Yeah.
I think the key takeaway is that we're all part of this unfolding story.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Whether or not you personally invest in crypto,
Right.
the blockchain revolution is going to touch various aspects of our lives.
Okay.
From finance and supply chains to healthcare and how we interact online.
Wow.
Its influence is expanding.
So even if someone isn't like rushing out to buy Bitcoin, they should still be paying attention to this technology.
They should be paying attention because understanding like the basics of blockchain technology and its potential implications is crucial for navigating the future.
Okay.
You know, think about the early days of the internet.
Yeah.
Back then, very few people grasped its revolutionary impact.
Right.
Blockchain is at a similar stage today.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
So much information is out there.
There is?
Like, where can people,
Right.
where's a good place to start?
Where can they start?
To learn more about blockchain and crypto.
Well, I think it's important to start with reliable sources.
Okay.
So, you know, industry publications, academic journals, even well-researched podcasts.
Right.
But I think the key is to be, like, discerning and critical of the information you encounter.
Yeah, that's
because the crypto space is rife with hype and speculation.
Good point.
So you always have to do your own research.
Do your due diligence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do your due diligence, for sure.
And don't be afraid to ask questions.
Oh, yeah. Asking questions is huge.
Yeah.
Like, the more we all understand about this technology, the better equipped we'll be to navigate, the opportunities and challenges it presents.
So to recap, we've gone from these, like, countless pronouncements of Bitcoin's death to its current record-breaking surge to the obituaries. So, like,
it's quite a turnaround.
It's quite a turnaround.
Yeah.
And this potential for reshaping, like, global finance.
Yeah.
It's been quite a journey.
It has been.
Just even the last
quite a journey.
Decade or so.
Yeah. And as we've discussed, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
You know what struck me most from Sebastian Widman's article in Forbes is just how much the digital asset landscape has evolved in recent years.
Yeah.
It's a testament to Bitcoin's resilience, like weathering so many storms, yet continuing to thrive.
It's more than just resilience, though, I think.
Okay.
It's like
what is it?
A fundamental shift in how we think about money and finance and value itself.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And that brings us to, like, a final thought-provoking question for our listeners today.
Hit us with it.
If we're truly at the beginning of the blockchain revolution, what does that mean for you?
Right.
What opportunities or challenges
what is it?
might it present in your own life?
Yeah, that's a big question.
It's a big question.
But one worth considering, for sure.
Perhaps this episode has piqued your curiosity.
Hopefully.
Delve a little deeper into this fascinating world of blockchain.
Keep learning.
Until next time, keep exploring.
Yeah.